Hi there, thank you for joining me on FernCrafts. I'm Christine, and today I am a little sad because I noticed that I have these Phalaenopsis. I have 3 of them here, and they are not doing anything. Nothing too exciting, I would say. I mean, they all look like they're doing fine, right? So I had this in a pot, and as you can see, this is a nice new leaf I have here. So everything was looking great, but for some reason the media that was sitting on top was not looking so good. So I thought I should just take it out and repot it. I'm actually just trying out a few of my orchids with semi-water culture, as you guys know now. So I thought, okay, maybe this is another candidate for SWC. So that was my intention. I took it out of the pot, and lo and behold, all dead roots inside of the pot. Like literally, I cut off all of that, and this is what I'm left with that I could, I guess, save for now. But even those 3 roots are not doing so well. As you can see, some of it has started to rot. So very, very disappointing. I've given it a nice wash because I did see a tiny mealybug on it. So yeah, and with the damper, colder conditions, sometimes the Phalaenopsis, depending on your home environment, of course, it is susceptible to mealybugs. So you got to be careful. Well, this one here now, the second one, it's got a nice new leaf, as you can see. The roots, again, I'm not so great with it. Like, I'm not so excited about it. This one is a nice white Phalaenopsis. I've shown it in the past, and it actually, oh, that's not the picture. It looks like that. If I can get it to focus. Yeah, it looks like that. I've shown it in the past, but in bloom. Yeah, so it's a nice Phalaenopsis, but again, you know, no signs of spikes or anything, and that's probably also because I still have this spike on here, and it's really a stump. There's nothing to it, so I'm gonna just cut that off and pull this one out from the pot as well. So let me go ahead and do that. I unfortunately have to put the camera down when I do that, so I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, so here it is. I've given it a good wash as well, and it had a lot more healthy roots than the other one did, which is good because I've been looking forward to this, but I'm gonna go ahead and I did say I'm gonna get rid of the spike, so I will cut it out. But I'm gonna try something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and that is to try Maria Young's extreme propagation by cutting it down the middle. Ooh, I feel uncomfortable even saying that, but I am going to try it with this. So that's that. I'm going to come back to that. Now with the third one, again, it was in a large pot because it is a large Phalaenopsis, but as you can see, it's literally sitting out of the pot, right? But then I believe there is like 1 or 2 long roots in there that's wrapped itself around, but the roots are not doing extremely well. No green root tips that I can see. So again, I want to pull it out of this pot, and this is one of the orchids, the Phalaenopsis, that I rescued from my mom's collection because it was being neglected a little bit. They had really severely dehydrated and limp leaves and everything. So now it's recovered. It's given me a brand new leaf, which is good, but I still don't like all of these dead roots around. I know there are some good roots in there. Again, I'm going to clean this up, and I am going to try another kind of propagation with this, and that is one that I watched on AZ Flora, so I will link that video down below as well. What they have done is this is going to take a lot longer because it's almost a 2 to 3 month process. So I will have to give you updates on it. So let me just take it out of the pot first and let you know what to do next. Okay, folks, so here we have it, the first propagation. I'm going to call this the Maria Young's extreme propagation. So here is my candidate for that, and she's just been sitting in semi-waterculture since my last part of the video, and it's been about 2 weeks, and I just needed her to get used to being out of bark mix and just chilling out and getting used to everything. So that's what I did with all the 3 orchids. And so now it's 2 weeks later and I have my materials here. I'm not going to show you the whole process because I think Maria has done a very good job at it. I will link her video down below, and you can have a look at how she goes about it. But here I have the materials that I need. Cutting board, a sharp serrated knife. I'm using one of my kitchen knives that I've sterilized, and cinnamon powder and hydrogen peroxide, and of course the plant. So I am basically going to just take her out of the water, get rid of any of the old roots that are not doing so well, because they're not going to help anyways, and then find a midpoint. Maybe this way is easier to show you. Okay, so find the midpoint and cut vertically all the way down, and then separate her into 2, and yeah, let's do that. I'll be back. So there you have it, folks. Very, very painful, I'll tell you that. One of the leaves detached, so that was unfortunate. So now she only has 2 leaves on this side here. Oops, not even pointing to the right thing. Here, she has 2 leaves on this side and a little bit of root. I had a root fall off as well, so that's no good. And on this side she seems to have 3 leaves intact, and a better root system. So let's see. So now the next thing I'm going to do is spray her down with hydrogen peroxide, especially in the open wound area, and then just let her to air dry for a little bit, and then I'll come back and I'll put some cinnamon on her. I have to say it's quite a painful process. Even though I knew I was going to do this, it is quite painful. So you just have to bite the bullet and, you know, cut through her really fast. So now she's dried out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my cinnamon here and just rub it onto the open wound on both sides, and then let her dry out a little bit. So probably a day or 2 before I decide what to do next. And of course keep an eye on how stressed she's looking and watch her very closely, making sure not to keep her where the other orchids are, because she's very prone to infection right now. Okay, so there you have it, folks. I've put some cinnamon onto her, and as you can see, there is some kind of sap that is coming out of her. The poor thing. There, cinnamon on her as well. Okay, so I'm just going to keep her in a container, and I'm trying to decide what to do with this really long root here. I don't want to take off because it's a good root. At the same time, it's just going to take, I don't know, maybe curl it up like that or something. Okay, so what I did is just had some cinnamon powder and just dipped my finger in it and just rubbed it on her, making sure that my finger is clean in the first place. So yeah, there you go. So that's the Maria Young extreme propagation with this orchid, and I will keep you updated on what happens with it. So now let's have a look at the other orchid propagation. Okay, so here's the candidate for the second method of propagation. This one is one by a YouTube channel called AZ Flora. I'll put the link to the video down below as well. And it is how to propagate Phalaenopsis. So I'm gonna try on this one, and the reason I did choose this orchid is because she has very few roots to begin with. So I want to encourage more root growth, and also she's a beautiful orchid, so I really would like to propagate her. This is the one that was given to me by my husband, I believe at Valentine's last year. So yeah, she is beautiful. I would like to propagate her, and I think it's the right time to do so. So let's try that out. So basically what it is okay, so for the materials for this propagation, I'm using just scissors that I've sterilized. I have my hydrogen peroxide that I'll be spraying her down with after I've done the cuts, and I also have cinnamon nearby just in case I need it. They do not use cinnamon in the video, but let's see. So what I'm basically going to be doing is, first of all, cutting off the stalk, the spikes that's dried out here. I'll cut that out, and then basically removing the bottom leaves. So I'll remove 1, 2, and 3, and 4, leaving her with just 2 leaves. I don't know if that's too much. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll start off with just taking off 1, 2. But I do want to take off this one as well, so we'll see. I'll be back. So there you go, folks. I did go ahead and cut out the leaves. So step 1 was to remove any of the dead roots. She didn't have any. This one looks like it's on its way out, but I'm just going to leave it there for now. And then step 2 is to remove the bottom leaves. So I've removed 2 from this side, and then 2 from here as well. So she's left with 1 leaf on each side. And you want to make sure that your cuts are clean as possible and close to the stem as possible, or the crown as possible. And then I've just given her a good spray with hydrogen peroxide. Now this method is going to take a lot longer to see, or to do the next step. There is another step to it, because this really is not the propagation. This is just to encourage root growth. And then step 2 would be to cut her in half, except we're going to be doing a horizontal cut on her as opposed to the one in the container where we did a vertical cut. So yeah, this is where I have her housing for now. So I will keep you posted on both of these. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let her dry out. She was in her semi-water culture since yesterday, but I'm going to let her dry a little bit before I put her back into semi-water culture. And in the video, they have the orchid in bark. Like, they leave her in the pot with the bark mix, and you know, don't unpot her or anything. Just remove all of these dead roots and the stem, the leaves. But for me, because I don't have her in bark, I'm just gonna continue doing the semi-water culture, and just making sure that when I do have her in water, that it's only her roots, the 3 roots that she has, that are submerged in the water, so as not to get any water into the crown and rot it or discourage any root growth. So this will be an update that I'll have to wait at least a month before I can tell you anything, but I will definitely be doing updates on both these orchids that I have now put through some extreme you know, wounds, created some extreme wounds, and so I have to be very careful with them. And I hope you will stay tuned and join me and find out what happens with them. So thanks for watching, and if you haven't done so already, do subscribe. You'll be the first to know when I upload a video. And for those of you who haven't had a chance, do check us out on Facebook, I have a group there. It's FernCrafts, Love of Orchids, and we have a really nice group of some really nice conversation of sharing your orchid pictures and really just getting positive feedback from everybody and advice, because there are some very knowledgeable people in that group. I really appreciate all of your support, and do stay tuned for the updates on these. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, enjoy your orchids. Bye-bye.